It's you and your Ecamm hat. You can't
I
see
know
my
it, man.
Ecamm. Can you see my logo
Yeah, I
on
can see
mine?
it. Yeah, it looks good on that end.
I like this hat.
Like
I
I'm
like your hat.
A little taller than you. Let me see if I can make this work. Hey, everybody, you see the countdown going.
I'm slunching a little bit. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Let me sit up straight.
Yeah, it's countdown time. You guys can see the countdown going. I am DJ Strick, and of course, that's Brant Collins. The stream guys here, we are doing it again. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Hope you called your moms, took care of your wives, all that good stuff. So it was a good day here. How about yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. Wish we could have done more today, but of course, we just got in like late last night, my wife and I. And
yeah, I've been watching TikToks all week. I've been watching Facebook. God. I want to hear more about this Portugal trip. I mean, that's just, I'm a little jealous.
Portugal. You should be. I can agree to that. Anybody that goes out of the country like that, you guys know it is a really, really big deal. Dude, not only is it a big deal, it's hard to do. And if you're watching us, please check in with us. Let us know where you're watching from. Today may be a very unique day for you. We're going to get a chance to talk about my trip to Portugal with my wife. And if you can tell, I'm a little congested. It's not COVID. Thank God it's not COVID. I got tested twice before I can get back in the country. But I think it's just because of the travel on those planes. My body said, we don't really like that. And the sleep, it's a 6-hour difference from Central Standard Time and Portugal time. Of course,
plus a 12-hour trip. That's jet lag. That's why they made that airborne, right? That airborne stuff was made for people that travel, boost your immunity and all that stuff, because it just throws your system out of whack.
Yeah, it can really wipe you out. I should have taken some airborne, and I didn't. I went airborne, but I didn't take it. And
yep.
My wife, she does a lot. And normally through the winter seasons, like she gets sick from playing sometimes, and in the past she would be around teaching kids, and it was always something she would catch.
Right.
So this time, most of the time I don't get it. I just don't get it. But this time I got a bug. Yeah, we're fighting through it. Nothing. So have you ever taken the I don't know what they call it, because my wife ordered it, but from Starbucks, the little medicine thing that they have?
I have not.
Dude, you gotta
try
it. Good? I don't know if they call it a medicine ball or whatever it is, medicine bomb or whatever, but man, like if you really are like on the verge of catching a cold or something like that, yeah, it's really good.
Is it Starbucks?
Starbucks, yeah.
Huh, they just throw it in your coffee?
So it's not a coffee, there's a tea. It's a tea.
Okay.
And it's a couple of different teas. It's all natural. Mixture of stuff,
herbal stuff,
herbal stuff that was really, really good. It made me, I've wanted to drink that like nonstop. It was so good.
I usually double down on my vitamin C and zinc if I feel like I'm getting sick. That'll help sometimes. But oddly enough, funny with COVID, of course, I got my 4th booster because I'm old enough, so I'm boosted twice. But somebody was telling me, we're talking about the masks, and somebody said, I might keep wearing mine. I never got a cold. I never, teachers were like, I didn't get the sniffle, you know how that first week of school, so I don't know, there's something to that, just not spreading germs, especially with kids. But for me here in Arkansas, my allergies just kill me this time of year. The weather changing, it's been cold, it's been hot. Every day you think you have COVID. Is it allergies? You know how the South is. It's just, there's stuff everywhere.
It's stuff everywhere. Don't let the pollen start. Oh,
honeysuckles. It doesn't matter for me. I'm allergic to it all.
So I was a kid that played outside when I was younger, so I don't really have a problem with the sinus stuff. But every now and again, I'll get something. But I won't let it get me down. We're gonna continue to do it. We decided, hey, we're gonna be the stream guys, and we're streaming just for you, even on Mother's Day. We wanted to come on, and I guess this can be a celebratory stream for mothers. And later on today, we're going to definitely highlight one of the mothers in Ecamm, in our Ecamm family. Miss Julian did a behind the stream with us, and we're going to get a chance to show what her setup looks like. And so here we go.
I still like that open. I like that animation.
That was really cool. Definitely thank
Yeah.
June for that, right?
Yep. That was a good investment on our part. So thanks a lot, June. That was awesome.
So, man, what an awesome time to be on today as we celebrate mothers on Mother's Day. Brand and I are here, and it's just us and you guys. So, no matter where you're from, if you could take a little time away from whatever it is you're doing and kind of hang out with us, we're here in the community. We're here on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. You can already see where we're asking people to subscribe. I mean, why not subscribe and then hit the bell for notification? And you can be notified every Sunday night, 6 p.m., that the stream show is on.
Yeah, and let's see, we got 4 people watching. One of those might be me over here. Mine in the chat. Haven't seen anybody speak up yet, but if you're in the chat, let us know you're there. Say hi, and we'll tell us where you're from. We love seeing where you guys are from, and because sometimes we get some, people from all over the world. It's kind of exciting, since I don't get to travel like Strick does.
All right, so let's just dive into it. People that may or may not know, my wife is a jazz flutist by the name of Kim Scott, and she's had 2 Billboards #1. She was actually the #2. She had the #2 song of all year of 2021. Like, that's a really, really big deal. It's a really big deal. And I mean, it's great to have a #1 song, but to have a song of the year, and Melvin Miller would know all about that. How are you doing, sir? I know Melvin has his show in Atlanta going on right now, so he's listening to us and watching his show, so it's always good when he chimes in. And we got to get Melvin on to do a behind the stream for his stuff. I want to see his setup. I kind of did an interview with him before, but we're gonna get a chance to see his setup. Really cool. I need to set that up with you, Melvin. Let's do it. So my wife, let me just do this. It'd be best if we just show him, Brant. What do you think?
Just show him.
Let's just show him. So let me show you what a piece of what she's doing, and we're gonna get a chance to talk through some of this. Where did I put it? The phone. Here we go. So here we go. Let's see if I can get the music on. So this is actually, Brant, like close to the end of her set, and I'm on the side of the stage, kind of like doing my third job of the night, being the photographer, right? Or videographer.
There you go.
And now she takes off, right? So this is the end when she tries to get, some crowd participation in her set, and they always really like when artists come out into the crowd. So she kind of walks through, and people get up, and you see them whistling and everything. People always ask me, how do I feel when, guys do that? She's an artist. It's cool.
Yeah, that's part of it.
If you can tell, I did the right thing this time. I was actually filming horizontal.
There you go.
I lost her. She turned on me. So we're in Portugal at this point, and Algarve is the Pines Bluff Resort. I think that's what it was called, and it was really, really cool. Somebody sent me this one. So that's her performing during the day. Got some time with her signing there. There you go. Thank you so very much, sir. So she's signing autographs, and we are still selling CDs for Smooth Jazz. I don't know if you believe that or not, but we're still selling CDs.
I think that's my guess would be, one, it's a extremely older crowd.
Right.
2, they're probably very sophisticated audiophiles, so they spent a lot of money on that CD player, hooked up to the best audiophonic, Kibadachi 4000s that they bought years ago that are still the best,
Right.
so and that I know those types of people. So that's your market, and it's probably not the downloads on Spotify. It's the people that want to hold the album. Now, she made any vinyl at all? Like
So we haven't
released
did
anything?
that yet. So
Okay.
man, it's just so expensive right now.
Yeah,
So
but it's kind of
we
a
priced it out.
cool
It's
thing,
just
yeah.
really expensive. So even to get vinyl, you're gonna pay a lot of money for it. So that has
Yeah, yeah.
never kind of
There's only like one place that makes that anymore too. It's like one production facility, I think, somewhere in Nashville. But it's that's just one of those things that are kind of coming back, and I would think jazz would be one of them.
So of course we want to do it. I think it's
Yeah,
such a novelty. We recently purchased a record player ourselves. So
yeah.
it
I
was
bought Heather one for Christmas and went to the play record store and spent a couple hours going through files and files to find the certain ones that she wanted. So but I couldn't find the one she wanted. That I was going to get the very first new edition. The new edition. She loved new edition, but
that's cool.
they had just done their reunion thing on TV, and the guy had sold out of them. He's like, three people came in here this week wanting that one. I
Wow,
was like,
to buy vinyl. So this is you're
yeah,
saying there's one record store kind of like in the area.
we have three. One of them's huge. Like you could get lost, and I had to ask. Like they have people that work there just to help you find stuff. That's so many records,
Wow.
and what was kind of cool though is I was checking out. I bought like 3 or 4 CDs that were like $1, and they were just like all the great, like it was really great stuff. Like YouTube's greatest hits, or Michael Jack, whatever it was. I was like, I paid $3 or $4, because I still have a CD player in my truck. So I was like, yeah, that's
Got you.
pretty cool. But yeah, it was just I figured the fun was going in looking at them. So if you like to
Right.
do that kind of stuff, like if
It's
you were gonna,
old school crate diving down into the
yeah, well,
crates. You
even
just
like.
never know.
And I would put Kim Scott's probably the people that listen to her, the guys going out looking for Miles Davis albums and, trying to find stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
but
it
that's
was
cool.
definitely awesome. It was definitely
Yeah.
awesome. So you can tell when I'm videotaping and then taking pictures of people videoing people taking pictures of her.
Now, does she have all her stuff on Apple
Yeah,
Music?
everything is out there electronic.
Yeah.
So
So do you sell a lot on Apple Music? I mean, you
yeah,
can
we
look
do.
at the
We
analytics.
do.
Okay. Yeah.
And her Spotify, she was what's that called? It smooth jazz, like new smooth jazz. She was on a playlist on Spotify up close to the top, which was really, really
What
cool.
happens
And then
if I
she's
ask
got
Alexa to play Kim Scott?
you would get it played. You can
I'm gonna
yeah.
do that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do that
yeah.
when I get in the house tonight.
Oh, brother, thank you. Thank you for even
I do
saying
that.
that.
Yeah.
And everybody else, have a play it, stream it a whole lot. I want you
You
to
get
do that.
you get paid when that happens, right?
Yes. And
Okay.
these are just pictures some of the other artists she was with. Oh man. Let me talk through this one. This is an amazing shot here. This was at the resort and they called it the champagne bar. So basically you're just out sitting out and drinking champagne or whatever, but there's a DJ named Richard. Richard is out of I want to say UK somewhere, but he has a international show. And part of the events at this resort was interviewing the artist, and people were sitting out there and listening to the interview. But you can look at the backdrop.
Oh yeah, I watched some of that on Facebook when you shared it. He was he was very excited, and he had a lot of great questions. And because I thought it felt like a lot what we do as content creators, right? If
Right.
just throw a camera with Ecamm, he could have been live streaming.
And these are some girls from Miami. I just picked it up. They wanted to have a ball. So they
Oh,
thought I
that's
was taking a
awesome.
picture, but they enjoying it and enjoying it. So I thought that was really cool, man. And we had it was one of those days, Brant, that you just had to kind of celebrate,
Yeah,
kind of just the
the weather looked
opportunity.
great.
The weather was great.
Yeah,
Uh, I did get a little sun. I may not look like it, but I got a little sun, brother.
I think you got a little tan. That's what
I
I was
did.
joking
I
with him earlier.
did. What I wanted to get to this one shot here, us walking through I'm glad I
Well,
took it off because I took a shot of her on the plane that she would not want anybody to
oh,
see.
you better not.
You know how
Mother's
that
Day.
goes.
Let's talk about my week then. I went to work.
Let's talk about it. I know it, right?
Came home. I watched Strick from Portugal. I'm like, I got to step up my travel game.
Nah, I think it was just fine. So this is it. And this is short.
This one she doesn't want to see.
No, I wouldn't dare do that. I wouldn't dare.
Better not
get me in trouble.
You're smarter than that.
Yeah. The only time I would do that, it would be me. Here we go. Back to the phone. We're walking through. Be sure. Let me start from the beginning. This is like coming from the resort, from the beach, and we're walking to our room. Okay. And this is just the greenery that's around it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How
about the food?
Oh, the food was great. Food
was
great. Get that. And you can barely see it, but the backdrop is actually the ocean in blue back there.
That is so cool.
Dude, I'm from Alabama, Brant. You know what I'm saying?
What's the name? Let me. Okalaki. How do you? What is it?
It's Opelika.
Opelika.
Yeah. Opelika. That's where I'm from.
Opelika, Alabama to Portugal.
Right. Like, how do you do that? Like, how did that even come about? But hey, I'm just thankful.
Married up?
You know what? My wife she had one album out when we met. Okay.
How you saying?
You know, she did very well with that album. And it was a great accomplishment for anybody to have one album produced, labeled, and actually do shows. So she
be careful what you say here.
What do you mean? I mean, I'm saying that, you know, it's kind of like people get so excited about their favorite artist.
Right.
But when you start off with them, you know, not that it's just different when somebody is 5 or 6 albums in. My wife is 5 albums in, and people are recognizing her. All right. I knew her when she was 1 album in, and she was just grateful to do any show, you know.
I thought you were gonna say, well, she had 1, but then she married me, and well, you know, the rest is history. And
no. Yeah. We actually fought for a very long time about my involvement in her career.
You were too aggressive, weren't you?
No, I wasn't too aggressive. She was just, you know,
not aggressive, but you're competitive. Like, you know, football. You're like, let's get to the top, number 1.
No, I had my thing with DJ Strick going on, and she was Kim's guy. She had her thing going on, and she just was really cool with keeping it that way.
Right.
She just didn't know what I really brought to the table.
I gotcha.
You know, so instead of pushing my way in, I actually just was patient with her. So the first thing that we did was we started a radio show for her. So most people that do radio shows is on their way down. And I don't want to travel. I don't want to do anything. I know I need to be available to the audience. So let me just do a radio show, and they syndicate a radio show. So what if you could do that on your way up?
Right.
So it kind of advances an opportunity for people. Not only inside of the industry do people know you, but also you can gain an audience outside. You know, a lot of artists come up to it because of a radio show. Hey, thank you for playing my music. All of that stuff. It's a really big deal. So that was the first thing. And then after that, her manager made like a terrible mistake. And I'm like, no, let's just change it. Now I didn't see it as an opportunity, but I took the opportunity to say, hey, you know, if we're going to do it this way, there's going to be mistakes made. Let me make them. And
yeah, it's good.
So I started doing some management.
I know, because my wife and I had our own production company for 8 years, and you know, she had her background in TV and broadcast. I had my background in design, and I was just getting into TV and broadcast. And when we came together to do stuff, it was a little push and pull a lot, because we both wanted control, or we both wanted creative, you know. And it took me not a long time, but same thing, a lot of headbutting, until it was me that got smart. And I said, you know what? If I stood back and looked at it as a business, this right here, she is the best for the best person for right now, and I need to support her. So we were filming a big commercial, and it's a national motorcycle company, and it was just me and her. And so somebody had to drive the vehicle, somebody had to run the walkie talkies, somebody had to, while she set up the camera. And I realized that, I'm really good at that. So that was like, she's really good at what she does. So,
Right.
and you can't do it without the other. So once you learn that as a team, and it's multiplied by 10 if you're married, but it's worthwhile to do. It's challenging. We look back on it and laugh. We both matured a lot from it. So kudos for you for going through that process. If more couples, my mom and dad worked together, they ran a company together. So if more couples could work together, I think it'd be awesome.
Now I clearly know that when it is when I'm out and it's a Kim Scott show, that
Right.
it's a Kim Scott. That's my boss. She's my
Right.
boss,
Right.
and my job is to be sure that she has everything. Now I did have to kind of overcome her getting into artist mode in the beginning. I had to kind of calm her down, like,
Yeah.
I know what you need. I'm gonna get you what you need, but we're not taking orders.
I got the green M&Ms. I'll go get them. But
right. We're not taking orders here. I'm gonna get you everything you need. I'm gonna make sure everything is set up, and more importantly,
Right.
is talking to people for her and making sure that everything she needs is handled.
Working the crowd a little bit in between, before, after the show. Yeah.
All of that stuff.
Promoter, manager, hype man. That's.
And of course, I had years of that from being a DJ. Like, this is easy stuff. But we've got a nice balance and a nice rhythm to what we do, and
good.
it just works out. It just works out.
You watched, if everybody watched our last, I'm gonna make a reference to, was it last show or the show before, where we had Chris Stone on, and we were doing you brought out the WWE stuff. You're the guy. What was the guy at the Mouth of the South, or the guy with the money jacket, the guys that came in and riled the crowd,
right.
That's
was
your
it talking
job.
about Ted DiBiase? Is that his name?
No, there was that guy who he had a jacket with little money all over it, and he had like glasses and like long.
He was the talk guy.
Hair.
He was the talky guy.
Yeah, the talky guy,
the promoter guy.
Yeah. There was like 4 or 5 of them, but I can just remember him being, that they're the manager of the. It's usually a manager for a tag team.
Gotcha. Yeah. Every now and again, I have a there's a place that my wife performs here in Birmingham that when it's called Perfect Note. So big shouts out to Perfect Note. And when she performs there, the owner, like one time they didn't have the comedian that normally does the open, so he asked me to open up.
Did you do it?
Oh, of course I did. I did. Told jokes and everything.
Were they good?
They were okay jokes.
I got a list of stand-up is one of the things that I want to do. It's on my bucket list. I have a list of jokes I started before COVID. I was going to do it with some friends, but I haven't done it. I got like 3 or 4 jokes. So
oh man, you would be great. So
I've always wanted to do it.
So can we put this in the content creator form, like some kind of way for people that are watching, like Melvin Miller that's still with us, like guys that if you're there, we'll appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Please tell us where you're from. And I want to open it up. Like it's me and Brant just doing our thing today.
Yeah.
And
you're out there.
Day, if you're out there, let me know.
Questions or.
Yeah. And let me see if I can do this. Can I put it in the chat? Let me see if I can do that.
I think you can. Where are you at? You on the Facebook?
Where should I put
it? Or
YouTube?
Maybe I
put it on.
There's 5 people watching, and it doesn't look like they're on. Well, it's coming from the Restream bot, so I'm not sure where Melvin's coming in. Maybe the community,
or my page,
or your page.
So that's been copied. Now let's see
here. All right.
See if I can put it out there if you want to come hang out with us. Brant, let's go down like recent news real quick. So if you're a content creator and you haven't heard about Elon Musk and Twitter, man, what have you been doing?
Yeah, so Elon Musk is looking to buy Twitter. If it goes through, he would says he's going to take it private. I used to be a big Elon Musk fan. I'm a big SpaceX fan, big Tesla fan. I'm not a big fan of this purchase by Elon Musk. I just feel like there's too many big people. Like Bezos owns Washington Post. Rupert Murdoch. I mean, a lot of these, there's like 4 or 5 people that own the media and all the companies. So that's, from a journalistic standpoint, I find that hard to believe, hard to balance. And then the other thing is that if you really think about it, it's not a money play, it's a power play, because Twitter has done so many huge things. Arab Spring, some big, a lot of stuff that's happened over Twitter since it started. So now that's going to become private, and who knows what's going to happen, right?
Right. You just never know. But
Never know.
this is old school control, right?
I think so. I mean, I just think it's, one thing that it worries me is, I told somebody, they said, "Were you really afraid of Elon?" I was like, well, not Elon as much as like they can say something and move the stock market, so, they're not supposed to, but they're buying and selling. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Even
Elon
if
has
it's a
definitely
whole,
done that.
oh, he's point blank done it,
He did
and
it with Dogecoin. That was the
I
thing
just
with
wish he would
Dogecoin.
concentrate on SpaceX and get me to Mars. I want to go to space. I love space. I want to be an astronaut as a kid. I think
But
that's a
Brandon, if
great
you go to
program.
Mars, you're not coming back. That's not a return flight for that.
You
That's a
know, there
one-way
there will
ticket,
be.
brother.
There will be. So I had this thing. I was on a submarine in the Navy, and I was like, who better? I spent 3 months underwater in a tube. You couldn't see out, couldn't see anything, right? You can just listen. I think submariners would be the best astronauts for a long trip like that, and I would do it. I would. That's what I always wanted to do. But yeah, I
Only
just worry about Twitter getting bought. Um, who knows? Everybody will leave or go. I won't leave. I'm not leaving. I'm still. I mean, I've been there since it started. So, but we'll see. And it's just a lot of fracturing right now. You got shorts, YouTube trying to be TikTok, TikTok trying to be YouTube, Instagram and Facebook trying to do whatever they can do. Netflix lost a ton of market share. People after the pandemic.
here, Alec
Monday
here
morning in
said he's in
Thailand. All right.
Thailand. Check him
There we
out.
go.
That's what I'm
That's
talking
awesome.
about. I heard that
And
Thailand is really nice right now.
I bet you it is too. So, just all of that, right? Who, at least with a public company, there's some accountability, a little bit, I guess. You could pull records or whatever. But if it's a private company, you know, they can just turn you off, turn you on, and it's all to make money. So who knows? There be somebody hopefully come up with something better. Um, something else will come along. It's about time for something else, right? I mean, I think this is all kind of getting long in the teeth. They said, I read an article today that ad rates were going up a lot on Facebook. I haven't had to run any campaigns for a while, so I haven't noticed it. But, everybody's just jacking up prices, and,
Wow.
don't know if you're really getting that much out of it, because I just think it's hard. It's hard to find traction.
It's
Where do
hard.
you, I mean,
It
I'm
is.
doing TikToks, one gets 2 likes, one gets 700, right? The same style. I try all these things, but then again, it's just up to the logarithm, right? It's you feel a little, and everybody's gonna say, well, just make 4 a day, just do this and just do that. It is a little, you know, it's kind of like you're hiding the rules of the game. It'd be like me and you playing baseball, right? Or you remember you were a kid and you'd be like, let's play cops and robbers, right? Bang, you're dead. And then you're like, okay, bang, you're dead. Nope, you missed me. Well, my rules, my house, my game. You know what I mean? So you'd be like trying to play football and your rules are different than my rules. So it would be nice to see somebody come up with a platform that was just open. Like, here's what we do. Here's how it works. You don't have to figure it out. Just. And then at the end of the day, it gets frustrating because we're the product. We're the product of YouTube. We're all
Well, think
banging this
about
out,
this.
trying every day.
Think about this, Brent, and everybody's listening. I want you guys to go somewhere with me. When we talk about social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and now Pinterest is getting into the game. Like, it's always been there, and people are now like Pinterest Live is a thing right now, or it's
Right.
beginning to be a thing, and we'll talk about that later when we do some research or get access to it. Let me say it that way. And Amazon Live and what Amazon
Yep.
is doing. What I want people to know as content creators, there's always going to be an opportunity to be on these platforms to provide them content because they need us to give them content. Okay. The smart long play is yourself. Brant, you said this before,
Yeah.
like invest in yourself. Like,
But, I thought about this a lot the other day. So we both worked in TV, or well, you worked in radio and I worked in TV. Kind of
right,
works the same way. You don't get the ratings, you get canceled, right? I
right.
mean, there were shows. I used to work for UPN 38. There would be shows come out for a week and they were gone. And I really liked it. One of my favorite shows ever was called Firefly. It was a science fiction cowboy western on Fox. It came out for one season. They never had another one. It became a cult classic. Now everybody loves it. Made a movie because the fans love it. And so I was watching all these different, I watch YouTube too much. I'm looking at all the people that are like you and me. We're trying to figure out my own show on my own podcast. Like, where can I bring you value? I figured it out. I think some people just keep saying, you know what? So you don't get any traction. Just keep making that video. Just keep making that video. Make this and get that camera. Do this and do that. Nobody talks about making better content. Maybe your content's bad, you know? Maybe you're not speaking clearly. Maybe you're not talking, maybe you're not entertaining, So there's some of this stuff that you might have to change, right? I mean, like comics, they work jokes. Your wife works different songs and different music. And I think I don't know that a lot of people experiment. They look at somebody, they try to mimic what that person's doing, expect success. And I think they maybe just, I think you do have to tweak. We talk about it all the time. Tweak your content, listen to what people are saying, listen to the community. Community wants more tutorials, do more tutorials, So there's some things that I've done. I'll do a Canva tip or something. And everybody goes, oh my God, that was great. I thought it was easy. And I was like, I didn't share that because I thought everybody knew how to, so I forget that I take it for granted. Me and you take for granted what we do, but sometimes if you just watch too many of these like self-help coaches type stuff, it's just like, just keep beating that dead horse and it'll hit,
Well, I think the hit
maybe not.
is, I think the hit over time, Brant, is, well, the hit is the time. Okay. So
Yeah, no, I agree. But I also feel like you have to figure out through analytics and through some other research and asking your community, asking Strick, hey, Strick, how was that show? Oh, man, it was good, but you stumbled this or you did that. Get some good criticism from your peers or people you trust because, it's a living product and you might just have to tweak a little bit. You might have to change some graphics. You might have to add a camera, more switching, more whatever
right,
to
right.
keep it interesting. I'm just saying is you kind of have to work on your content, not just the volume of your content. So maybe you also should be not, and I'm not saying quality because we've watched people that I see way more performers on TikTok or YouTube that have more hits and views than me that just use their phone. It's grainy. They don't have a microphone, but
Right.
they were just funnier than me or witty or, whatever, it's
Whatever, it
like
worked for them.
it worked for them. So you really have to work on, I look at the analytics, what worked, what didn't work,
I
so,
like that. So let me put it in terms, like we talked about my wife earlier, and I think content creators, like if we look at the word artists, musicians, they're
she's a content creator.
creators, like you're building content. But in our world, their content that they make is actually an album. Our cycle or rhythm right now is 2 years, so one album for 2 years.
Okay.
And that content has to live. We're talking 9 to 10 songs living for 2 years. We only really release 2, maybe 3 songs off of a 9 to 10 song album. Okay,
right.
So we're talking about 6 months or a year for 2 singles, and if you put out a third, a year and a half. All right, 6 months that goes through the cycle of getting Billboard or what we call chart placement. So you're right when you're saying content, like the first album, nothing, like it didn't place anywhere, like no chart at all. Second year, she got on a chart and it may have got as high as 20 or 19 or something like that.
And so the tweak that, and what I'm talking about is what was the difference between year 1 and year 2? Did she ask for help?
First and second album, the first and second album. So the first album she put out, she was an extreme novice. All right, so she actually purchased backing tracks. Sometimes, yeah, she purchased backing tracks and played over top of those tracks. Okay, the second album, she went into the studio and it was live performer. So she made there was a definitely difference in the sound of her second album. All right, we
Right.
start using a Grammy Award winning producer. He wasn't then, but the guy is like I don't know. He's just amazing. Kevin Wooten out of he's in Alabama, but he's a superstar when it comes to production, and just won a Grammy this year. But he won a Grammy with Jasmine Sullivan. He was actually up, like he was on two of the artists that were nominated. He produced something on both of those albums. So he was going to
Very
win,
good.
like
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah.
The guy's really, really big, but R&B music stuff. And man, he just has a sound that he puts into her music that just makes it different from other smooth jazz stuff. People really, really like it. That being
Right.
said, the content got better over the years. Yes, every time we tweaked it to do something different. And she's still talking about what she wants to do next year to make the content better for her audience. So I definitely agree. Working on your content, if you're a content creator, is so very important. Um, there's a guy by the name of Kevin Samuels. I don't know if you know of him, but he
And
recently passed, like a couple of days ago passed. He's a content creator, and but he's big on all the platforms as far as his content is talking to women about their relationship life. And when he started out with a video where you couldn't even see his face. That went viral. You could see the young lady he was talking to, like it was an Instagram kind of thing, but he
right.
was in the dark. He was in the background, like you couldn't even see his face, and it went viral. And I
Because the
used him as
content was good.
because his content was drama filled. Let me say it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
It
What
was
people
drama.
wanted.
What people
Mhm.
wanted, what people wanted. But his
Mhm.
content is what people wanted. And I went to his YouTube channel one day when he was live, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna get off here. I got 200,000 people on right now. I only have like 20,000 likes. I'm gonna get off of here if I don't get 30 likes like right now." He literally said that.
Right, right,
I'm gonna jump off. You guys are not into this.
right,
So he was really pushy to his audience, but they
right.
responded, and he was really rude to his guests. But he said he had other content that he was doing, but not till he made that change that he really started going. And I'm not saying
Right, right.
anybody go his route of being drama and being mean and having that personality, but sometimes sometimes you do have to make some changes. I'm not saying sell your soul for content, because a lot of people like to do that. You
Yeah,
need
and
to
I
be
think
you.
that's right. And I
You need to
think
be
if you
you.
look at that, that's Mr. Beast, it's all about taking the $1 million and giving it away. I mean, that's the content, right? I mean, so it's that over the top, and if you look at the market, this age market, that's what they want. Um, and sometimes you might have to say, maybe my content doesn't work here on YouTube. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe whatever it is, you just have to, maybe it's more to Facebook. So you just have to look and kind of feel and, you know, um, like you said, there's producers that take over movies. There's people that take over shows. There's people that turn things around on a dime. Those magic makers that can do that. I don't know that there's, you know, that person on YouTube that I know of, but that I'm sure you have to pay for them, pay Gary Vaynerchuk to come on and tell you to do 5 a week or whatever, but
Right.
a day, but um, some of it is just having, I, I guess what I was struggling with, or I was trying to think about is to me, the equipment's easy. Once you learn how to edit, once you learn how to run the equipment, the camera, the Ecamm makes everything so easy. It looks so professional. People tell me all the time, I just have to show them a picture of our show, and oh my God, it's so professional. How do you do that? Can you help me? So
Right.
the quality, we know how to do quality, like technical quality. I still don't know if I know how to do content the
I get it.
right way. Does that make sense?
I get it.
what is that package look like that's going to make people, like doing that with my own show on solo marketing. I have so many things I want to share. I'm having a hard time getting that down into one show. Like every
Right.
show, what am I going to talk about? I want to talk about everything, it's just a package thing, right? Like I said, I'm a TV guy. I came from TV production, and there's some shows that you watch shows, you want to like it. The host's good and this is good. And oh my, it just fails. And
Right.
me and my wife will sit there and go, what is it? I want to like this. I like this person. I like that person, but it's just not. And then we'll go, oh, it's this. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So, have you looked at your own content um, well, I mean, I don't know that a lot of people go back and watch their own shows. Do you go back and watch?
I watch some of them. I
Yeah, and I
watch
watch
some
a
of them.
little bit. I should probably watch more. You know.
Well, let me say this for everybody that is watching, or even if you watch this in a replay. We've heard some of your comments about the show, and we thank you for the support that you've given us. But there was a comment about maybe us doing more tutorials of
Mhm.
how-tos with Ecamm. Now, of course, we don't mind doing that. I mean, there's Doc, of course, that could tell you everything up and down on Ecamm. There is the Monday night show, the Ecamm News with Fujins and Anna. Am I pronouncing that right? I think it's Anna.
Anna. Yeah.
And then of course you got Katie, and I think Jillian is coming on during the week and doing some stuff.
Mhm.
But maybe people want to see the stream guys, whether we know how to use this ECAP stuff. And we absolutely love using the software and don't mind putting in some parts of the show and some how-tos. So if you're out there and you say, hey guys, we really would like to know how to do this particular part, if you can show us, guess what? Brandon and I will definitely do that. We have the behind the stream that you can always sign up for. So if you're someone that's watching and you want to be on the show and kind of show us your setup, and Alex, if you still are watching, we would love to see your setup as well. All you have to do is go to our webpage, thestreamshow.live, and there's a button there that says, I want to be a guest. So if you want to be a guest, fill out all the forms and we'll contact you and allow you to be a part of the stream show, because we want to see how you are uniquely using Ecamm. So,
And we also want to bring value. So, Strick has a lot of background in the interview process, working with his wife, kind of the front man kind of stuff. I'm a tech person. I can do everything from website design to I can show you how to do stuff in Canva if you want Canva tutorials. So leave us some comments, some questions. Tell us what you'd like to do. Pick our brains. Branding. You want to know a little bit, how to help design your show, make it look better. If you want to submit something for us to talk about, we'd love to review your channel, kind of give you some tips and, help you. But I really feel like, one of the things that I've always tried, we've talked about this all the time, is finding our lane. And yeah, if you want to know cameras, Doc can help you with all that and microphones. But I really think we're really focused on content and business. So how you can monetize and how you can, use this outside of, in more deeper than just affiliate sales and brand deals. And, there's kind of the two or three things everybody does. We've been able to monetize. We've done, a lot of different stuff. We've used this in our personal lives for our own jobs to make our careers better at that end. So we just really believe in this skill set and that this skill set is going to grow going forward. No matter if Elon buys Twitter or not, this is going to grow.
it's true.
He might make it better. He might put live video and make videos and do this and do that and compete with, you don't know, you know. But I also think there's probably some people in the basement somewhere making the next best thing. It's about time for something new to come out. And we're all suckers for something new,
That's
right?
true. Hey, if somebody was smart, they would make their own competitor.
True. It's a lot of work.
Well, I really don't think it is. You just duplicate what you have and put a new name on it and act like you don't know anything about it, and put out
Oh
a
yeah, a lot of people do that. Yeah,
tweet that you're gonna crush them. I'm gonna crush this company.
yeah.
A Facebook
That's
tweet about another company
yeah.
that's actually a Facebook company.
When
That's
that's what
killer, man.
I do. I'm still a big believer of Meta in the metaverse. I haven't used my Oculus in in a month because I've just been too busy, but I still think that's a real thing that's
I
going to
do too.
happen. Maybe too early. AR, VR is all going to be a deal. I got my first NFT from String. If you watched our show about NFTs, she sent me so I am now an NFT owner. And I even figured out how to make my own NFT and make that to be the ticket to be in my WordPress site. Like I could lock it down only to people that had my NFT. So
That's really
don't have
cool.
really anything to charge for yet though to make the NFT, but maybe I'll make a Brant coin or something. Well,
There
I'll
you
figure that
go.
out. But
Hey, I'm right
you know,
behind you on that. I hadn't had time to kind of dive down into it, but I will because I
right
want my stream coin.
there, you go.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to make an NFT that and call it a coin, but it's just you got to try all this stuff. It's interesting. I have a friend, a coworker. She has 7,000 followers on TikTok, and I got very upset with her that she hadn't filled out the Amazon uh, the affiliate thing, and I sent her the episode we did with the Dealcasters, and she did it the next day and got accepted. So she's still working through getting everything set up, and I told her I'd help her
that's
get her first
awesome.
videos out because I want to see her see. I told her I'm going to help you do this, but when you start making money, I want that video that says I helped you do all this.
Have you
So
seen the new profile from Facebook?
I looked for that. You said you had it. I couldn't find it. So how do I
So
change?
they
And
sent me something.
what
They
is the
sent me
difference?
something.
Oh, they sent you something. Okay.
So it's my profile page, but I can make it professional. So a professional
Mm,
profile page that acts
for
like
your
a fan page.
Gotcha.
Um, but
So
you
you're
can
able to
also
keep all those followers that you
I'm able to
have.
keep the followers, not the friends and followers. So now it just shows my followers and not just my friends. So I can't add any more friends because I'm at the limit, but I can add the followers, and that's what you see on my page is my
Okay.
follower account.
So are you able to get into the Amazon?
So I hadn't tried it since then,
Okay.
but I think I should be able to do it if they accept that, because I don't know if it's so new that it's something that
Right.
people can follow as a professional page, but it's still my profile page.
And you have to pay attention to all this because everybody is changing. I mean, they're adding little things, they're tweaking stuff, they're adding this or that, and they don't really tell you. You
Yeah,
might
it
get
is
an
for
email,
the real bonus. So if you do reels and they
Oh, I
it's
get
able,
so
so it's an
I haven't done a lot
opportunity
of
for me to
reels.
monetize my reels through
Let's see,
Facebook,
edit
which of course
profile.
I'm getting more viewers for my reels on Facebook than anything else.
Yeah, I don't see that setting for me. So, um, but I'll have to dig around and see. You know, that you got to stay on top of stuff. That's why if you go to www.youtube.com/Brant Collins, it goes directly to my Facebook page. I mean, my YouTube page, because I did that super early
Right,
and before there was a lot of rules. Never put anything there, but I just knew that I had to get that space.
right,
So
right.
I do that a lot. I have a lot of domain names I own. So
That's what's up.
too many. Like I sold one, made a little bit of money on a few, but if I have an idea, I go by the domain and lock it down, at least for a year. And if I don't do anything with that idea, then I just let it go. But um,
So can I talk to you about something that's really cool?
okay, yeah.
Our girl Jillian, that you guys have seen in the Ecamm network, she is really cool. And we had an opportunity to talk to her one day. I think Jillian was on a show with Keith Pelzer. You remember that,
Hmm.
Brent? And we had a
Yep.
chance to kind of see her behind the stream, and she's doing some very unique things. Now, she works in a school system, so she actually started out by just videoing or live streaming sports events,
Hmm.
and it just blossomed from there. It
Yes.
blossoms from there. And she has a business for the school and her own business, and man, she's all things streaming now.
She is, and she's got one of those personalities that you can get addicted to. You know what I mean? Because she's just
Exactly.
so vibrant, happy, and but very intelligent and very inspirational for me from an entrepreneurial standpoint. She's just like, I do this, I do that, I did 3 cameras at a hockey game, and I figured it out, and I got
Right.
2 bobby pins and she's like MacGyver. She's got this all figured out. I just love that hustle and that excitement. So she's really growing with that. So I would really love to see her behind the stream. You
So
think you might have that?
I think I may have it. If I don't, we're going to watch something from behind the stream. So let's check it out now.
You got to sprinkle the female vibe in there, guys.
There you go.
There's a lot
Yep.
of male content creators, but the ladies are in here representing too.
All right, so now it's time for the Ecamm Behind the Stream. As you can tell already, I have Miss Jill set up. She's going to show us what she's working with in her studio. Now, I see you have a GoPro in your hand there. Can you actually start with this talking about your audio setup?
Yes, I can. And yes, I'm using a GoPro, which actually I'm going to, little plug, I'm going to make a GoPros are cool behind the scenes streaming cameras, but they're a little tricky to set up. So I did record a video today, a tutorial on how to do that. So you can catch that later. But starting with a microphone, which you don't need this behind the scene camera phone. This is the Wave 3. Now I do a lot of production at different locations, but this Wave 3 is a USB mic and it kind of stays in my home setup. This is the corner of my bedroom. So I wanted a mic that was totally easy. I have the same mic you guys have too hanging up here, but I don't have my cloud lifter, so it's not in the show today.
I got you.
How's the audio sound though? Is it sounding all right?
You sound great.
You sound really, really good.
Awesome. For a USB mic, I'm a big fan of this microphone. And the arm that comes along with it is, well, it doesn't come with it. You got to order it separately. But the Wave arm, I love it. It is one of the most convenient, sleek looking, I don't know, mic stands. I really, really love it.
There you
I'm
go.
going to switch to another scene. So I hope I don't make anyone sick because I am using a GoPro. Ugh, I don't have one of those cool overhead rigs right now, but... What do you want me to explain? Want me to explain?
So now we talked about
mics?
your microphone. So the microphone that you have, the Wave, is actually a mic and USB. The interface is connected to that microphone. So you don't need an audio interface for that at all?
Exactly.
Great. That's what I want to know. So how about your camera and your lens?
Cool. So the camera that you cannot see, but the one that I'm using right here, is behind my teleprompter. And hold on, I got to get my cheat sheet, guys. Hold on. Oh, God, this is not the best behind the scenes. You know what, though?
You're doing great.
Wow, hold on. Let me just talk about it.
There you
So
go.
I have the Canon ZV-E10. So if you guys know Doc from Ecamm, he's the one that was like, Jillian, you need to get off the Canon, which is not nice because here's my Canon. This is my Canon 80D with a Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter 1.8 lens.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks great.
I think
this
the
is a
difference.
Sony.
This is the Sony. I will say the product mode with the Sony, like the fact that will just be so focused
There you go.
immediately. I mean, I am a big fan of the Sony, and that's plugged in via USB. I'm not using a capture card. So the fact that it's streaming and charging the camera is also a great feature. So I'm really loving that Sony. It's got the 16 millimeter 1.4 lens on it.
That's awesome.
Wow, so you don't even need a capture card or nothing.
Nope. I'm not using any capture cards today except for my GoPro. So
Very good.
So those are my cameras and my lenses.
So explain real quick how did you have that hooked up from? Is that USB out of the GoPro?
So the GoPro is interesting. So I have you'll see here. Actually, let me switch to this camera. You'll see that I've got this pink cable here is a USB cable that's plugged into a battery pack.
There you go.
Right.
Because GoPros are notorious for just chewing through batteries. So I have a media mod on this GoPro. And once I'll switch to the scene where I can show you that it actually does look good. But I also have a micro HDMI cable going into a cam link and then going into my Cal Digit.
Very
So
good.
let me see if I can keep steady hands for a second here, guys. So I
There
got
you
some
go.
lights set up on the side here. I do have a ring light above me. And then I've got my Mac Mini. And then I've got this fun little clickety-clack keyboard.
That's a
And
Logitech
then-
keyboard, right?
Yeah, I love that. So I didn't want to get it because I know all my shortcuts in my Mac keyboard. But then it was
Right.
just so darn cute with all the yellow. I love yellow.
Cuteness
then-
overrode the functionality, right?
Well,
I got the
it's
same.
it's smart. It does the Mac shortcuts. You just have to do the software and tell it what to do.
I,
And yeah.
I got a version like that. It's a gray one that's just, it's not the clickety clack, but it's round keyboard and it's small for my iPad. But I ended up
Oh,
taking it to
nice.
work and using it with my laptop too. So it's like, I love that keyboard. So Logitech, they make some really good stuff.
Yeah, it feels so good. I feel like I'm using a typewriter, but I'm not.
That's
There you
cool.
go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we talked about your microphone, your camera, we talked about you using a Mac Mini there. And what
Yep.
type lights do you have? I saw the ring light, but what type lights do you have just set up right in front of you? Do you know?
Right. Yes, I do. So these two right here, they're kind of one on one side, one on the other, is the Viltrox VL 200T. They were kind of cheap, cheap-ish lights I found at the beginning of starting to stream. But I gotta say, I use them so frequently because you can change the temperature and the power and all that. But also you can buy batteries for them and have them be fully remote. With all the stuff that I'm doing, I need to be able to have a completely movable setup. So having wire-free options is huge for me. And I like them. You can put them anywhere. I have one connected to a stand that's on the table and then one on a tripod. And then all the stinking RGB lights behind me are, I don't remember whose stream I was on, one of the many Ecamm live streamers, but they had put this RGB floodlights. I can't tell you how heavy this box is. It's very heavy. But it's kind of cool. You know, I got a little remote here and I can change the colors with my camera settings. There's only 3 lights that won't flicker. So I could do yellow. I don't think that flickers too bad. Pink is okay. Blue, and then teal. But with my current light settings in my cameras, if I switch to something else, it'll do that wavy thing.
Got you.
I
got you.
Gotcha.
Which is a look, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
tell me, what do you think is your favorite production tool, software or hardware in your setup?
You know, there's so many great things. Because now it's like, now you need them all. I gotta say, I am a big fan of the new Sony that I got for sure,
Okay.
the ZV-E10, but also the CalDigit. It's one of those pieces of equipment. It's a, you know, it's an additional USB hub, right?
Right.
It's a powered USB
Right.
hub. When, especially if you're going to be like me and maybe not use a capture card for every camera, if you've got multiple cameras, if you just want to plug in your camera via USB, you need to have all of the
Additionals.
inputs.
That's
And
right.
if you were to just use those little what do you call them, the little ports that aren't powered,
Right.
they're going to get real hot. Something's going to go wrong. You're going to think your cables are broken. So having a powered USB hub when you have that many inputs and outputs is key. It must be done.
That's awesome. Hey,
Yeah.
Miss Jill, I really do appreciate it, your time, and actually going through that. That's going to really help some people with the different aspects of how you do your setup. So thank you for being a
Cool.
part of the Ecamm
You're welcome.
Behind the String. I absolutely love that. She is so cool, Brant.
Jillian, it's always, you can't help but smile when she's on a show with you. She's hung out with us a lot. I think she's one of those people that there is, like she said in the beginning, there when we first started, there was a lot of just guy only streams of us hanging out, and I think it was her and a couple other people are like, hey man, there's no women. And we're like, well, come on,
Come on.
but we started to be more conscious about that and trying to invite more women on the show and feature them as well and support them as well. So love what you do, Jillian. You're welcome anytime. So come back.
I think she's a rock star. And if you would like to be a rock star on the Stream Show, it is really simple. All you have to do is go onto the streamshow.live. Yes, that's our webpage. And there's a button there that says if you want to be our guest, click that button and go through the form that we have. And we'll be in contact with you because we want to see what you look like behind your stream. Brant, it's been another great stream show. And of course, I love doing this with you, sir. It's been great. But if you can tell, man, I need some rest.
I think you should go to sleep because Monday's a work day. Got to get to work. no rest.
Yeah, for the first,
Right?
it said no rest for the weary.
For the weary. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And of course, I'm doing one stream in their community on Monday
That's
nights at
tomorrow night.
6
right?
p.m. So that's tomorrow night. So we're gonna do some tutorials over there, and man, it's just a lot of
And
things
I need to
going
shoot
on.
episode 2 of my show this week, so I won't do Monday night because I want to watch your stuff. So I'll pop into there. Maybe I'll do mine Tuesday or Wednesday. So keep out the look for mine. I'll record mine live and then edit it down for the podcast. But if you want to come in and ask some questions or hang out, you can do that as well. So thank you, everybody. Say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, because it's Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. And everybody have a great week. Wake up tomorrow strong, invigorated, ready to go to work and make more content. Let's hustle.
There it is.